In this age of chain restaurants, it's hard to find a good old-fashioned soda parlor these days. Well, Cindy Carter found one in the tiny town of Lynnville. In fact, it boasts having some of the best hamburgers and shakes in the whole state. Here's Cindy at the Junction, Soda Pop Junction.
If you ever find yourself waywardly wandering through Tennessee, consider it very good fortune if you happen upon the small railroad town of Lynnville. Folks here have never met a stranger. But understand this, strangers are pretty easy to spot.
We love our town, and we only got 326 people, and we love every one of them.
And Johnny Phelps, owner of the Soda Pop Junction, like most everyone else around here, can probably list almost all 326 names.
Huh?
I'm ready. I ever get to move around a little thing.
But everyone, locals, tourists, and wayward wanderers alike, all seem to eventually make their way to the Junction, the Soda Pop Junction, a place known for its delicious award-winning burgers, and ice cream. By the shake, float, scoop, or sundae.
I get a chocolate milkshake about 3 or 4 times a week. Just on a nice hot summer day, it's nice to have something to cool you down.
Cool down and catch up. That's what the locals do.
It's just a closeness here, and people have been very supportive, but 90% of our business comes from outside the area.
And that outside cash flow has given Lynnville new life, which is exactly what Phelps had in mind back in 1998 when he decided to buy this old building and turn it into a restaurant.
At that time, most of the buildings you see up and down the strip were either had fell in or there was no business. When I came to look at the building, it was raining. I mean, just really, really raining. Actually, I had to go to my car and get an umbrella to come in and look at the building because it was leaking so bad.
Well, to be fair, the building was built in 1860, at the height of the town's railroad boom.
I'm not crazy about running a restaurant, but I love the history and being around people, and that comes from 49 years of being a teacher.
So this former high school teacher invested in the past, and a colorful past it is.
It was a saloon on this side, and it was 2 different buildings, but it's all under the same roof, and it was a drugstore on that side. You could get your medicine at both places back then. Get it over there, or you could come in here and get it. Either way, you was going to come out of here happy.
In 1928, the space became home to the L.E. Moore Drug Company, which, like many drugstores of the day, also sold ice cream and mixed together soda pop. The drugstore literally served this community for 50 years before shutting down, and that's what Phelps wanted to recapture.
Most restaurants now are tearing down to the brick walls and go back to the old days, and and we've always been old, so we didn't have far to go.
Thank you, sir.
That's Miss Judy behind the register.
I came to work here when I was 14, making ice cream cones, selling Cokes, milkshakes, and so forth, and I worked behind this counter.
And both Miss Judy and the 1950s drugstore counter are still here. So is the original 1870 pharmacy facade. In fact, pretty much everything you see was donated to Phelps by friends and family to keep the Soda Pop Junction uniquely Lynnville.
So the cliche is you can never go home again, and when small town businesses disappear and buildings are torn down, that can seem very true, but not here. With old photographs on the walls and antiques scattered about, for many, the Soda Pop Junction just feels like home.
People walk through the door and say, holy smoke, this is like going back in time.
A simpler time, and that's how Phelps likes it. Oh, he's heard about those newfangled ice cream shops charging $10 to $15 for what they call a gourmet experience.
We'll do that for $2.99. We're not a Baskin Robbins. We can't furnish 31 different flavors, but we've got about 8 or 9. We do what we do.
And what they do these days seems harder and harder to find.
Everything all right to go?
So why not wander in, cool off a bit, and have a chat with friends? They'll be waiting for you at the junction.